Hello and welcome to today's Fabled Lands read-through. We had a bit of a break last weekend because I was in Finland, having a lot of fun down there. Now, whilst I was there, I had a guide, and her name was Sarah, and Sarah helped me find these dice. They're not very clear on the camera because it doesn't want to autofocus for whatever reason. Anyway, these dice are made out of reindeer bone and have been tinted with, it looks like some kind of homemade dye. So they look very, very old, and they're probably just manufactured the week before I bought them, but they are very, very old, and I thought they're much more appropriate to Fabled Lands than those horrifically treacherous red dice that I was using before. So we won't be using those. Another point, I have adjusted our defense, as someone pointed out quite rightly so, that your sword, your magical item that you wield, does not add to your defense, merely to your combat rating. So our defense has gone down by 3. We're not nearly as immortal as we were before. Not that we were really immortal to begin with. What else? Then, yes, we are going to continue, and according to the polls that everyone voted for, we're going hunting wereboar, in the hopes that maybe we can convert it or save it, but generally speaking, we're after its tusk, because we feel that that is something that has been hovering over our heads now for way too long. I hope that this is not the last of Caric. On that point, a portrait has been done of Caric, which I will add to our layout here somewhere just as soon as I finish cleaning it up and sorting it out. It was done by a fan, and it's a very, very amusing image, which I will share with you next week. Oh yes, next point. Next week is a live show. We're going to be doing more live shows moving forward, and so next week is a live show. Also, it's very hot here in Japan for some unknown reason. Lots of humidity wandering around, so excuse me for doing that every now and again. Anyway, let us continue with Caric's journey as he finds himself in the little town of Wheatfields in the far north of Golnir. You are leaving the town of Wheatfields. You can go north to the Endless Plains, take the west road to Delpton, take the road to Castle Revan, or take the road to Matricians. Or, of course, we can just go east. Well, we want to go east, basically. We want to get to that Forest of the Forsaken. So I think we're just going to go east. 309. Nothing exciting ever happens to us, eh? We just wander around all alone. The road wends its way past countless numbers of farms, passing through villages where the peasants live well on their bountiful harvests. A well-lived peasant? Well, I never. Times have changed, I tell you. Times have changed. All right, we got to roll 2d6. Let's see how our new reindeer dice do. 4. Does this bode well? I don't know. A loathly lady, 475. This is what we are randomly encountering on the road. 475. A woman of remarkable ugliness is sitting by the side of the road. Most people cross over to the other verge to avoid her, and a few children stop to pelt her with clods of earth until you shoo them away. "Oh, thank you," she says. "All I want now is a great big kiss." She has a face like a frog that's been hit with a hammer. Well, I do feel sorry for her, and what's the worst that could possibly happen? 561 or 651. I've heard tales of princesses kissing frogs that turn into princes. Maybe this will turn out to be the actual assassin. "What a kind person you are," she says, clutching your sleeve. "So I'll reward you with a hint. If you go to Castle Orlok, be sure to join the Temple of Lacuna first." Pulling away, you resume your journey. Turn to 35. Castle Orlok, that sounds familiar. 35. Castle Orlok. 35. Castle Orlok. Was Castle Orlok in the Forsaken Forest? Was Castle Orlok in the Forsaken Forest? I'm trying to remember. No, Castle Orlock is just south of Wishport. All right, so we go to Castle Orlock. We need to visit the Temple of Lacuna first. Well, isn't it so lucky that we happen to be on our way to the Abbey of Lacuna, as a matter of fact, as we continue our journey. You are on the road leading southeast from the market town of Wheatfields towards the monastery of Mulhern. Well, we've been there before, and there wasn't much excitement going on. Head for the monastery, make for Wheatfields, head southwest towards the Whistling Heath, or head north into the Endless Plains. Well, we need to get across the Endless Plains somehow, so 328, 328, 328, 328, 328. The Endless Plains are the breadbasket of Golnir, a vast rolling expanse of fields that gleam in summer like quilts of gold. Pretty whitewashed villages nestle by lazy streams. The farms are filled with plump livestock. Danger is unknown to the inhabitants of this idyllic landscape. And cue Beethoven's Pastoral Symphony to play in the background as we see prancing fawns and happy children and babbling brooks. How very sickening. Everything is all happy and happy here in the Endless Plains of Golnir. 77. You stand on the windswept Endless Plains and wonder where you should seek your adventure next. Head due north, head northeast to the Haunted Hills, search for the Tower of Despair, visit the town of Wheatfields, head towards the Reese River, head eastwards or south. Well, we want to go eastwards, don't we? Very much so, 30, because we know that the Tower of Despair is not here, but it's actually in the forest. We got that map once long ago, which we've lost, I think. No, treasure map. There we go. We've got treasure map. War-Torn Kingdoms of page 200. So we do have that. We do have that. So that's fantastic. You're in the broad valley of the Rainbow River. Close to the riverbanks, fertile soil means that there are many villages. Up on the wooded valley slopes, you see only the occasional stone-walled croft. A peddler tells you that the countryside hereabouts has an eerie reputation. Stay close to the river or venture further afield. We're going to stay close to the river, I think. 303. We don't need eerie encounters. You come to a pool at the bottom of a waterfall. Here, a fine spray hangs in the air like sparkling mist. The longer you look at it, the more you imagine you can see dancing figures outlined in the mist. Above the roar of the waterfall, you seem to hear soft voices calling out to you. Stay here a while longer, or leave now. 692. We're going to stay a while longer. 692. It might be people in trouble. 692. And it's not because I want to see naked ladies bathing in the waterfall. Thank you very much. Caric has more taste than that. Gradually, you begin to see distinct silvery figures waving in the air in front of you. We are the spirits of the waterfall, they whisper to you. We can show you great treasure, but only once. Oh, one great treasure is enough, you reply glibly. You misunderstand. It is not easy to get the treasure. There are snares and challenges. You will only have one chance. If you have not seen and decoded the plaque, you can only rely on luck. Enigmatic, eh? What will you decide? We haven't seen and we haven't decoded any plaque. And after our encounter with the Baroness and that unfortunate incident with that poor innocent knight, I think we'll come back here later on. We don't know. Plaque, no plaque. And relying on luck, we don't have any of that. We're fresh out. So, we continue on our way. You are on the banks of the Rainbow River, where it meanders between the Haunted Hills and the dreaded Forest of the Forsaken. Right, well, enter the Forest of the Forsaken. Page number 7. Here we go, everybody. Page number 7. Into the dreaded forest. The forest of the Forsaken is a dark, forbidding place. Even in broad daylight, shadows cluster like a mass of cobwebs under the gnarled boughs. As you skirt the forest searching for a path, you see a hamlet at the edge of the trees. A man looks up as you approach and starts to ring an iron bell. We could enter the hamlet, or we could press on, or, and this is exactly what I'm going to do, we turn to the War-Torn Kingdom, page 200, to have a look at our map. It isn't the world's biggest map, so I'll try and bring it up on screen. Right, so, Hamlet of Lazars. That's what it says on the map. Hamlet of Lazars. Hamlet of Lazarus. Could they be plague infested? I don't know, but there don't seem to be an entrance from this side. Or it could be the Hamlet of the Bald Ones. That's on the other side of the map. It's not the Hermit's Cottage. So it's either the Hamlet of Lazars or it's the Hamlet of the Bald Ones. Either way, I think we should try and find out. So we're going to go and put on a show, actually. We've got some talent. We're not without talent. We could raise some money here. Maybe the village needs some entertainment. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows where we are, actually? Enter the Hamlet, 136. Hello, my fine fellows. Are you in luck? You shout as you wander forward. Unclean! Warns the man, his voice just a ragged croak issuing from a mouth ravaged by sores. You are horrified by the revelation that you have strayed into a hamlet of lepers. Roll a die. 4. You are not affected. Oh, thank goodness. Remember that if you have a blessing from the goddess Maka, you can use it to negate the effect of the disease, because otherwise we could have contracted the disease and you lose 1 from each of your abilities. 1 from each of your abilities. That is deadly. Thank goodness we stay in the hamlet overnight. Well, we are immune. You contract the disease or you are not affected. Let's stay in the hamlet overnight. 182. Am I pushing my luck? I think I am. 182. You show the lepers you are not afraid to stay among them. They are grateful for your help in various chores that they find difficult. Or would that be sores that they find difficult? Oh, no, it wouldn't be. Gain 1 point of sanctity. Well, there we go. Can't complain about that, can we? No, we can't. 1 point of sanctity. Right. Well, nothing wrong with that, I say. Gain 1 point of sanctity. The next day, you set out on your way once more. As you go, one of the lepers warns you, "In that direction lies the village of the Bald Ones. Don't trust them. They'd as soon slit your throat as look at you. The path by their village leads to the heart of the woods." Well, on that note, Bald Ones. All right, so we're going to avoid the Bald Ones. 159. Don't trust them. A hamlet of wattle and daub cottages with thatched roofs nestles under the branches of the trees. Beside the hamlet, a path snakes off into the gloomy wood. Not far off, several bald peasants stop work and lean on their spades to watch you. Avoid the peasants, so we're going to go along the path. 228. Thank you, lepers. 228. The path leads to a grassy glade beside a brook. If you have the code word baluster, turn there. If not, turn to 69. Do we have baluster, bobbin, bumble, brush? No baluster. All right. If not, turn to 68. All right. Like I said, it's very hot here. I've got a fan going on in the background, which you might hear. I apologize for that. 68. Here a knight has set up his pavilion, encased from head to foot in plate armour, as are we. He sits astride his horse in silence, while his dwarfish squire scurries forward on stunted legs to speak with you. My lord contests your right to use this path, the dwarf tells you. You must fight him, or else turn back. If you have the code word Beltane, I thought we had Beltane. I remember Beltane before. We do not. 274. All right, look here, dwarf. I just want to pass. I have no beef with your leader, your knight. I'll trance ye, sniggers the dwarf. I mean, my master will. Oh, right. So, now we know. With that, he waddles off towards the pavilion. You are a little surprised that he isn't going to stay and watch, since he seems so confident of the outcome. No, because he's the one inside the armour. We can see this one coming a mile away. Prepare to joust, or turn back. We are going to get this boar one way or another. So, we shall prepare to joust. 297. Can't be that bad. I mean, he's just a knight in the middle of a field. Have you ever heard of knights in the middle of a field being well trained? Oh dear. The knight is no easy opponent. Perhaps you should flee whilst you still can. If you do, he will hit you for 1 to 6 stamina points as you run off. The Silent Knight has a combat of 7. Well, that's exactly what we have. He has a defense of 12, which is 2 more than ours, but he only has stamina of 7, so I think we can take him. All right, here we go. Charge! All right, I haven't really used a lance before, so I'm going to throw the lance away and use this enchanted sword. Ha-ha! Take that, you silent knight. All right, so our first attack of the day gets us 9, plus our combat skill of 7 is 16, so that's 4 damage to him. Now, I actually have a pen, so I can sort of keep track of the hit points damage that we have done. All right, his rebuttal. He lowers the lance down towards the shield that I'm not carrying. Why am I not carrying a shield and a joust? That's crazy. He gets 9 as well. 9 plus his 7 is 16. That's 6 damage to... Oh, boy. Right. Well, fighting from horseback is particularly difficult. All right. This is it. Here we go. Oh, 9 again. These dice seem to like 9 plus 7 is 16. So that's another 4 damage to him. That's him dismounted. Ha-ha! Avast! We have defeated you. Prepare to know our dance of victory. Dance of victory. No, we don't dance for victory in this game. It is not that kind of game. 320. Enthusiastic that we won that, although we did take a lot of damage, 6 damage. Let me just chalk that up quickly. If I can. Oh, come on. Oh, really? That's what you want to behave? I'm sorry. Where is this 9? I'm just going to find it. Is it this one? It's this one. No wonder I can't change it. It's been turned into a picture. So now 9. We took 6 damage, so we're on 3 life. Oh boy. Make it bold for you. Make it bold, he said. Can make it a little bit bigger. I mean, we're not blind, but... Oh, the technicalities of live recording. Right, so like I said, 3 damage. Right, 320. Your opponent falls with a hollow clatter to the sword, releasing a wisp of green vapor. When you throw open the visor, you are amazed to see the armor is empty. The dwarf comes running out of the pavilion in a state of high dudgeon. "You cheated," he says. "It isn't fair. I will have my revenge." So saying, he darts off into the bushes. Gain the code word baluster. We didn't cheat, you horrid little toad. Baluster. Where are we? Baluster. Okie dokes. Now, you can take the remnants of your uncanny opponent. Plate armor +5 and a jagged sword +1. Plate armor +5. Well, we're definitely going to take that. But how? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're allowed 12. So we're going to add plate armor +5. The sword +1. We'd have to drop something. The fairy mead? No, I think that's got more value because we can buy a sword +1 anyway. The silver nugget's 150, and I don't remember the price. A smolder fish? Maybe we can drop the smolder fish. I mean, it is just a fish, right? It's not going to be worth... I think a sword +1 is 75. So let's just put that in there. All right, there we go. Wheeling and dealing all the way across Golnir. Okie dokes. Also, roll 2 dice, and if the total is higher than your combat score, then increase it by 1. 5, which is just higher than our combat score. So our combat goes up by 1. So our combat is now 5. So that puts our defense now at 11. Because now we actually are on our way. Fantastic. Now, if only we still had that potion of restoring healing. Reroll scouting, sanctity, combat reroll, immunity to disease or poison. Well, all right. Nothing there to give us back our hit points. Well, with 3 hit points, we continue onwards. Continue along the path. 3, 4, 3. I don't know if that's a good idea, actually. 3, 4, 3. But it does seem like a little bit of effort to go all the way back to town to... Right, so... The foliage around you is filled with eerie rustling noises. The boles of the trees are black and twisted with age. Before long, you come to a fork in the path. Go left, go right. Go to our map. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry for that. Right, so left goes down to the tomb, right goes to a gibbet and the Tower of Despair. Is the boar hiding in the tomb, or is he hiding in the gibbet? There's an elf glade, which he might be hiding in. I think he's in the elf glade, so we're going to go there. But I think I am going to state categorically that we are going to return. We are going to return first to heal up, because I think it would be crazy not to. I think it would be suicide to continue forward with only 3 hit points. So I'm not going to. Where are we? Yes, go left, go right, or go back. For the sake of alacrity, I am going to stay here on this page whilst we go back, so that once we have done it, because we know that we basically get back here, 23, we'll go past the hermit village, we'll take the pathway, etc., etc. But I will run us back to town quickly, because you get random encounters. You are not sorry to be leaving the Forest of the Forsaken behind you. It is the most dangerous region of Golnir, so continuing with only 3 hit points, I think stamina points would be a bad idea. All right, we want to go... Where do we want to go from here? We want to go to the nearest place is likely to heal us, which is probably... Conflass, I suppose. So head south. 1, 2, 2. If you are an initiate of Lacuna, then you have the option to visit the nearby abbey of your goddess. Non-initiates cannot usually find the path to the abbey, as it is hidden and protected by powerful spells, though you can attempt to uncover it by a magic roll at difficulty of 15. Well, the temple might heal us, and magic 15 is not too difficult. What is that? 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 7 is 15. You have to beat the number, so we didn't, so we can't get it. Or scouting at 18. Well, we didn't get either of those. Not searching for the abbey. 3, 5, 9. The broad, gently rolling pasture lands between the Grim and the Rainbow rivers lie before you. Wool is sent south from here to make the rich gowns of the merchant princes of Ringhorn and Metricians. Roll 2 dice. Nuns from the Abbey of Lacuna, that we weren't looking for, but, well, if they're here, who are we to complain? 15. I think I'm going to have to go back to this page thing. 15, let's see. I just want to get healed up, that's all. Is it that hard to wander back to town? Come on, GM. The nuns are instantly recognizable in their green and brown habits. Greeting you with friendly smiles, they offer to take you to the abbey. Well, if it's so damn protected, why do they just bother to take random people in? But I'm not going to say no. 61. You are allowed to stay 1 night at the abbey. Recover 2 stamina points if injured. I'll take that. Thank you very much. You must leave now, the nuns tell you at breakfast. Only initiates may remain here among us. If you wish to become an initiate of Lacuna, you must convince the nuns of your sincerity by making a sanctity roll at difficulty 12. But you cannot try to become an initiate of Lacuna if you are already an initiate of another god. We've got to get rid of Elvir and Velmir. You know that. They've been an anchor around our necks. 38. The time has come for you to take your leave of the Abbey of Lacuna. Go south. 168. You come to Conflass, a thriving market town at the point where the 2 rivers meet. Visit the town. 191. Conflass is a delightful town of white-fronted houses with brightly painted timber frames. The burghers of the town are open and friendly. As one explains to you, we tell the baronies that we pay tax to the Sakarans, and the Sakarans that we pay tax to Castle Ravern. So they both leave us alone. That's why you'll never find a long face in Conflass. Well, that's fantastic that you are committing daylight robbery of these 2 people who provide protection for you. That's absolutely great. Don't pay your way. Okay, time to drop some coin. We're selling the plate armor for 720 shards. Plate armor, Arrivederci, for 720 shards. Now, I have been rightly accused many a time of incorrectly keeping track of my money because my maths is so bad. So I'm just going to write it down there. 720 shards. We're going to sell this sword of +1. There's no point in having both of them hovering around. And that gains us a sword of +1, 200 shards. So it was worth even more than I thought. 200 shards. Thank you very much. And we'll take that. 200 shards for that. What else can we sell? A silver nugget? No. Here we're going to sell the lantern for 90 shards. But I think that lantern is probably going to prove useful to us in the future. That's what I'm thinking anyway. And there's not anything else we can sell or want to sell necessarily. No. All right. Once you finish your business here, turn to 191. $191. Go to the inn, 713. And you know what? I'm just going to walk back. I'm going to walk back because 713. It's just the right thing to do. You can get lodging here for 1 shard a day. Each day you spend here allows you to recover 1 stamina point if injured. When you're ready to leave, turn to 191. Right, so 4 days later. I wonder how long poor old Caric has been wandering around. If you think about the number of days that he's spent recovering at inns, I would say he's probably been going for about a month or so, if not a bit more. Yeah. Anyway. Right. So, good. We are recovered. 191 again. Now we can head north into the forest. Great. Okie dokes. Leave comflass 283. Follow the river north is what we want to do. We want to follow the Rainbow River north, which is 273, 237. You follow the course of the frothing Rainbow River as it tumbles across flat, glistening stones and boulder-strewn rapids. Roll 2d6. 6. Gypsy Camp, 498. The gypsies offer to sell you a rabbit's foot charm for 30 shards. It'll bring you good luck, friend, insists a grinning old woman with a face like a walnut. Buy a rabbit's foot charm if you wish, then turn to 371. Well, rabbit's foot charm, you know, it's always good, in my opinion, no, we don't really do anything like that, to support local industry. And a rabbit foot's charm supports the local industry, if not the local rabbits. Right, rabbit's foot charm, 30 gold. I can do the maths here fairly easily now, roughly, relatively, kinda. 30 gold, that leaves me on 220. Great, fantastic. Okay, so we bought our rabbit's foot charm. Hopefully they don't rob us blind. 371. 371. You are walking the riverbank beside the clear, gurgling waters of the fast-flowing Rainbow River. Head upstream, that's where we're going, 303. You come to a pool at the bottom of a waterfall. Here a fine spray hangs in the air like sparkling mist. Yeah, we've seen this already. Dancing women in the lake, probably trying to make someone a king or something. We're not going to do that now, so 716. You are on the banks of the Rainbow River, where it meanders between the haunted hills and the dreaded forest of the Forsaken. Turn to page 7. Press on, 159. I'm not reading out these, we've just done these. Go along the path, 228. 228. If you have the code word baluster, 343. 343. The foliage around you is filled with eerie, rustling noises. The boles of the trees are black and twisted with age. Before long, you come to a fork in the path. We can go right or we can go left. We've established we wanted to go right, so that's page 22. You make your way along the wooded... Let me try that again. You make your way along the woodland trail. At the point where 3 paths converge, an iron gibbet hangs between 2 oaks. Go south, which would take us out. Go west, which would take us to the Elvish Glade, which is where we want to go. Go east, which would take us to the Tower of Despair. And I kind of want to go there, but let's get our wereboar in the bag first. So let's go west. 3, 6, 7. Now, of course, I'm assuming that the Elvish Glade is where the wereboar would hang out. No, we want to go east. 117. Northeast. East. 117. 117. If you have the code word bosky, turn there. If not, turn to 382. We don't have bosky. I see there's a spelling mistake here. Ballast. We don't have bosky, so turn to 382. You reach a glade where a long table is laid out for a banquet. It is spread with silver plates piled high with succulent roast meat, spice cakes, warm, fresh bread, and large, ripe fruits. Carved oak chairs are set out for 13 guests. Sit and eat your fill. Watch and wait. Yes. Retrace your steps. No. 432. 432. 432. You crouch down behind a bank of ferns to see what will transpire. Make a thievery roll. Oh. 12 plus 5. 17. Difficulty was 12. 507. You watch the elves of the Forsaken Forest come slinking out of the shadows. Their faces are narrow and vulpine, their bodies slim as saplings. A few are wrapped in rich furs. The others go naked. They sit and eat, but their revelry is muted. Every now and then one of them will look around suspiciously and murmur, "I could swear the air has a mortal smell." Eventually they melt away into the woods again. You take the opportunity to pilfer a jug of fairy mead from their banqueting table before heading back down the path. Well, we'll take it for now. Why not? I say. Back 22. All right, so that's not where the boar is. So let's go west then. 367. She did say it was in the Forest of the Forsaken. That's where we are. 367. All right. Yeah, piggy, 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 pig. The path leads to a clearing. In the middle stands a narrow, windowless tower of jet black stone. Looking up, you see that the parapet of the tower is encrusted with small gems that glitter like stars. There is only a single door, banded solidly with panels of dark iron. Interesting. You can unlock the door of the Black Tower using a key of stars. If not, you can try and break in. Well, let's try and break in. It's not too... Oh, 10 plus 5 is 15. Difficulty of 13. Open the door. 69. Little house breaking never hurt anyone. Remember that lady in Yellowport? You step into a dark tower. As your eyes adjust to the gloom, you see a spiral staircase winding up and up. At the base of the stairs waits a large slavering wolf. It would attack you at once if it were not fixed to the wall by an iron chain. Could there be a warbear at the top of this? And the construction begins outside. Could there be a warbear? A werebear? A werebear, not a warbear, a werebear? approach the wolf. 161. We have no choice. We're here now anyway. The wolf crouches at the foot of the stairs and watches you with luminous green eyes. If you have a green medallion, turn there. If not, turn there. We don't have a green medallion. 207. Where would we have got a green medallion? With a growl, it leaps forward, fangs bared hungrily. You must fight. It's a fairy wolf. Combat of 5, defense 7, stamina 10. Because the fairy wolf is chained to the wall, you can flee from combat at any time, but you will take a final wound of 1 to 6 stamina points as you run away from the creature. All right, I don't want to do this. Combat of 8 for us against its defense of 7. 11. 11 rolled plus 8 is 19. Its defense is 7. We dispatch the wolf before it even attacks us. Fight and kill the wolf. 182. I didn't want to kill the wolf. We could have subdued it and taken it home, then brought her home so we could have taken it there. It was no ordinary wolf, but some sort of enchanted beast with the power of regeneration. Under your very eyes, the splintered bones are knitting together, the blood pouring back through its wounds, the torn pelt becoming whole again. If you tarry here too long, you will have to fight it all over again. Well, we don't want to do that. Climb the stairs. 253. At the top of the stairs, you come to a belfry filled with roosting vampire bats that hang like sacks of dun-coloured leather around a vast iron bell. A loathsome trickle of fleas and lice falls constantly from the bat's fur. If the box above is not ticked, tick it now and turn to 276. Oh dear, let's just make sure that I had to turn to that page. Climb the stairs. 253, 253. All right, put a box in 253. Down we go. Down here. 253 space. Thank you very much. Put a tick in the box. 253. If there is not a tick, do it and then turn to 276. 276. The floor of the belfry is virtually covered with silver, gold, and precious gems, all sprinkled with bat guano. 2 items draw your gaze: a golden sword of combat +2 and a regal helm of defense +3. You can take these items, you must record them on your adventure sheet, and then you try to gather some treasure before the vampire bats wake up. What are we dropping? I like this charm. It's different. So I think we're just going to take... We're not greedy. So we're going to take the regal helm of defense +3. We'll leave the sword +2. I think that's what we should do. Because our sword's +3. Now, let's get rid of the silver nugget. We're not going to go fishing anytime soon, and we can always buy one. A sword +2. All right. Do we try and get more treasure before the bats wake up? What if they do wake up? Well, we did dispatch that wolf fairly easily. Let's go for it. 322. 322. The more treasure you collect, the longer it will take and the greater the chance the bats will notice you. Decide how much you will collect, then roll 2 dice and add 1 to the total for every 200 shards you have taken. For every 100 shards you have taken. Now, 2 to 10, you leave with the loot. 11 plus, you get caught. So I'm going to take 500. So that means we have to roll below 6. 7. The vampire bats wake up, but we do have our 500, which I'm not. I mean, we were stashing it in our bag, so that puts us on 700 because a rich dead corpse is better than a poor dead corpse. The vampire bats wake up. 368. Disturbed by the heavy chink of coins, a number of bats flutter down from the rafters and sink their fangs into your flesh. Roll 1 die. You must lose that many stamina points permanently. In other words, reduce both your current and normal unwounded stamina score by this number. If you survive, you can shake off the bats and turn to 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness. Can't we use there's nothing we can use. 3. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What have we done? What have we done for 500 gold? Oh, what have we done? 3, 4, 5. Life choices. 3, 4, 5. You hurry back down the stairs. Your courage deserves greater reward than mere treasure. Roll 2 dice, and if the result is greater than your current rank, then you gain a rank. 2 dice. Is it higher than 1? Oh, it's double 6, 12. Yay! We have got a rank up. Fantastic. Excellent. That pushes up a whole bunch of things. That goes to 12. That stays at 2. You also gain 1 to 6 stamina points permanently. That is, increase your normal stamina score by the roll of 1 die. Remember that going up a rank increases your defense. We lost 3. Can we gain it back? 5. Yes, we can. So that goes to 11. Fantastic. Fantastic. Well worth it. Page 22. All right, well, then that means this boar can only be in the south. Page 22. All right, so we're going to go south towards the edge of the woods. 45. A branch, blah, 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 leads you to your left back out of the forest. The way overhead is... okay, sorry. A branch in the path to your left leads back out of the forest of the Forsaken. The way ahead is overhung by low, moss-sheathed boughs. Well, we're going to continue along the path. 366. The path wends its way between steep earthen banks from which the roots of trees protrude like ossified snakes. It brings you to a squat crypt built of green-veined grey marble. Above the entrance rises a small pyramid with a stone eye carved into the summit. In the centre of the eye sparkles an emerald as large as a duck's egg. Climb up to get the emerald, enter the crypt, retrace your steps and take the other path, or leave the forest. Well, this is where we're going to come to a conclusion so that you can decide, what are we going to do? Are we going to climb up to get the emerald, or are we going to try and enter the crypt? Let me know in your votes below. Now, next week, I will be doing this live. That's right, I will do this live. So, our usual broadcasting time, I beg your pardon, will be roughly 6 p.m. Pacific Central Time. I'm not sure how that translates elsewhere in the world. And that's basically, it works out to 10 o'clock here in Japan. So 10 o'clock Japanese time on Saturday is when I'll do it. That works out to 6 p.m. on a Friday night in the East Coast, West Coast north, east, southwest, west coast of America, of the USA. So I do hope you can join me for that live one. If not, don't worry, it will still be released onto the channel and the same time, basically. Actually be a little bit earlier than the regular release on Saturdays, so watch out for that. That's next week live at about 10 a.m. Japan time, Tokyo time. So if you are going to join me, fantastic. I look forward to that. If you're not, leave your comments below. What are we going to do? Are we going to try and steal this gigantic emerald, or are we going to try and enter the crypt, trying to find this wereboar? I really don't know where it is. We've kind of scoured. The only place we haven't yet been is the East Bank, so we're going to have a look there, I suppose. Anyway, until next time, safe adventuring in the Fabled Lands.